All right, time for a little Q&A. We have a lot of questions that you guys have asked under a recent community tab post. And yeah, if you have missed that post and have some questions, feel free to leave them underneath this video. I'm going to try to answer all of them. I'm going to take out some, kind of stupid questions where people want to know, like, results from Extreme Rules or something like that. Obviously, I wouldn't talk about stuff like that, but yeah, let's get into it. First question here is, who do you think you will add next to the GCW roster? Yeah, that's also kind of like a question that I can't really answer because, it's going to be more of a surprise. Maybe something coming up at Extreme Rules. I would personally love Bryan Danielson being used more in GCW, or maybe bringing back G-Man's coach to help with the G-Man and Bloodline story. Yeah, G-Man's story is pretty much more up to Danny. I have input in it, but yeah, Danny is mostly responsible for, like, who's G-Man teaming with and stuff like that. Even though I kind of came up with the Briscoe stuff to add them in there, I kind of felt like they fit in well with G-Man, but yeah, I'm not sure if the coach will come back. I mean, down the line probably, but there's nothing really planned as of now. And yeah, I think Bryan Danielson is going to be on the show a lot more now with the BCC. Just had the match with the Brothers of Destruction, and obviously announced for a big match at Extreme Rules. Okay, next question. What has been the biggest overall change that you have had to make since the beginning of your Fed? Okay, that was definitely commentary, right? Because before, pig feds were always just like music playing in the background, no commentary, no sound effects, nothing. That was definitely the biggest change I had to make in GCW. And, a lot of people hated on it because, I don't know, some people always wanted for everything to stay the same, kind of. And, I always wanted to, try to make stuff better and cooler and, add effects and stuff like that. Like, I remember back in the day, I even got, like, a lot of shit when I was just adding green screen into the videos and stuff like that. They were like, oh, this is too much. This is, like, over the top, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's definitely, that's the biggest change, going from just music to sound effects and commentary. Especially back in the day, I was alone. I'm not a good commentator, so that was really hard. But, I needed to do it. There was, like, no choice for me. I really wanted to do it to, tell better stories and stuff like that. And, in the end, it has worked out pretty well here. And what was the biggest thing you've learned since making content? Probably that what I like is not what most people like. And that's kind of like a depressing thing, right? But yeah, like these carefully laid out stories that we tell over years and stuff like that, unfortunately in the YouTube machine doesn't do as well as, like, having Roman Reigns fight some other WWE guy in a barbed wire match or whatever, It's just how it is, but yeah, that's probably a depressing thing that I've learned, but, it is just how it is. Okay, next question is, how do you feel about the design of your current championship belts, and are you thinking about making new ones? I personally like them, but would be interested to see new designs. I would definitely love to have new designs. The problem is, this stuff is just so busy. There's, like, so much going on. There's, like, so many things going on at once that coming up with new belt designs is just, like, not very high on the priority list. Like, if people would come in and make a design and figure out where I could get the belt done and stuff like that, I'd be open to it, but I just don't have the time to worry about that, especially as I really just have to worry about making enough money to keep this stuff going, and making new belts is not really gonna, get views up So it would be something that would be nice, definitely, but it's just like not on the list of priorities. Yeah, that's kind of the situation on that. But I'd definitely love to have some new designs. And actually, Danny wanted to get a new championship belt done for Extreme Rules last year for the G-Man and Osprey match to have a new belt debuted, but I guess the belt maker who he planned to order it from ended up not making it, which is a very typical thing in this community, unfortunately, that people are very unreliable and nothing gets done. So that is a big problem you always have to deal with as well. It either doesn't get done or it takes like a month, and it's just very annoying. Next question is, do you feel frustrated that the fans try to get you to cater to what they want, aka more mainstream people rather than what you want to do creatively? It's not so much that I'm frustrated about them trying to make me do that. It's just that I have to do it to keep continuing GCW. That's the most frustrating thing. Yeah, it's just, most of the stuff that does well is not really what I enjoy. I really enjoy, for example, like what we have going now with Will Ospreay and Stage Creator. That's a great story. The G-Man Roman. That is the stuff that I can get behind. But yeah, stuff would just do way better if I put like 5 WWE guys and make them randomly fight in a Hell in a Cell. That's what people would click on way more, unfortunately. So I'm not really worried about people telling me, oh, I want to see that and that. It's just that I have to be worried about it because otherwise, this stuff doesn't make enough money for me to continue doing it. So that is the biggest problem. Next question is, can you bring in FTR or LA Knight into GCW? LA Knight is on fire right now, and you put it in good, amazing matches. Yeah, I mean, probably I'll have to bring in LA Knight down the line because he's like so popular, right? To be honest, like I wouldn't even know like one move he does. I guess I know his finisher, but that would be about it because I just don't watch as much WWE. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna shit on anything, but it's just like not really my cup of tea. But yeah, there you go about LA Knight and FTR. Definitely have grown on me in the last year. Like the matches with Jay White and Juice Robinson were phenomenal. I watched those and I did love those matches. So FTR is possible, but we'll have to see. Are you thinking about bringing Bray Wyatt back to GCW? If you were to bring him back, it would keep his spirit alive, even though he's gone in reality. And yeah, that is a really good question. Bray Wyatt has been a big part of GCW history, and I've never really done a tribute since his death in real life. So maybe that will tell you something right there. In the future, do you have any plans on bringing in The Rock? No, definitely not, because to me, like, having The Rock, I just can't see, like, an exciting match. Even though, like, The Rock versus Will Ospreay would be kind of interesting, right? Like, just sounds kind of interesting, but, yeah. Unlikely, I would say. Can you bring in RVD for the Extreme Championship or for the Cruiserweight title? I mean, I could, but there is nothing planned really at the moment. Is Wildcard and Mil Muertes involved in future storylines? Okay, so actually after the Elimination Chamber, we plan to have some follow-up, but the voice actor for Wildcard unfortunately disappeared, and yeah, there was going to be some follow-up with him and Vince McMahon that never happened because the voice actor apparently is gone. So yeah, that kind of stopped some things, but Muertes, unlikely, because you gotta book him to destroy everyone, and I can't really destroy everyone on my roster for an FAW guy. So there you have that. Do you have any upcoming collabs with companies like how you did with CEW and FAW? Now, I don't know. I don't think I did a collab with CEW. Like, I don't think I did that. But FAW, like, yeah, Danny and I mean, pretty much most things you see in GCW is a collaboration between me and Danny because we talk about it. And is Danny gonna film more stuff? You've seen the New Japan show that he has done. But, Danny is just so burned out by this stuff, filming matches and stuff like that. And most likely he's not gonna, or definitely, let's say right now, he's not gonna continue that. So if the New Japan stuff gets continued, that gotta be on me as well. And yeah, but otherwise, Danny will be here to do commentary, promos, and, have his input in GCW storylines. Will you ever bring DIY to GCW? Not impossible, but, not planned at the moment. What wrestler do you want to use more, but you don't know how? I mean, most wrestlers that I would like to use more would be like New Japan wrestlers that are really good, but I wouldn't know how to use them. But the problem is, they're not going to draw viewers, so yeah, there you go. What do you use for stage parts, like your scaffolding and things like that? Some of them we make ourselves, like a lot of the stuff my girlfriend makes. And there's some videos on the channel that you can actually go back and find where we have done tutorials like a couple years ago. Next question, like, I might sound arrogant, but I want Damian Priest to be on GCW again. It was fun watching him in the Extreme Battle Royal. Yeah, it was cool to have Priest there. I actually had some plans to bring him in, but I changed plans a little bit. And yeah, right now I don't really have a plan for Damian Priest, but you never know. How do you know where to start building your roster? Like, how would you choose from hundreds of figures on a budget, basically? I mean, doing this on a budget is really hard. Because, I see people start stuff and, they barely have an arena and stuff like that. And, if you want to be successful, let's say, and get views and make some money, it's like very unlikely that you'll get traction, with a low budget production. It's, unfortunate, but to get going nowadays, you probably need a bunch of money. And yeah, but I mean, for fun, you can just play with what you have, and maybe you'll improve your skills and one day get a job, make some money, and be able to use those skills in a better setup with more figures and stuff like that. Okay, I would love to see Orange Cassidy in the future, maybe in a GCW Cruiserweight title match against Mike Bailey. That would be a fun match for sure. Definitely an interesting suggestion. Will we see Kenny Omega with CM Punk go one-on-one for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and when will we soon expect it? Yeah, I mean, kind of, that's the obvious thing that we wanted to go to, right? To continue Punk's and Kenny's story. And yeah, Danny is not gonna continue filming, so it would have to be on me. And I hope we get there, but right now I can't promise anything. But I have a New Japan ring and stuff like that. We're getting the similar setup soon, so maybe, hopefully, down the line we can get that done. Are there going to be more matches for the IC and Cruiserweight titles down the line on major shows? I mean, we just had the Cruiserweight Championship on WrestleMania in a great match with Darby and Speedball, and the Cruiserweights are going to be on the Extreme Rules card as well. And the Intercontinental Championship is going to return on the road to Extreme Rules, so you can expect that pretty soon. I have a question. Do you plan on posting more pay-per-views and have more matches on the match cards? I mean, the amount of pay-per-views I post is already, like, I don't think there's anyone out there that posts more at the kind of quality that I do. We have done, like, the Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, and we're going to do Extreme Rules, and yeah, we've done shows in between even. So, yeah, I mean, it's just not humanly possible to do more. That's just really the problem. If there would be more pay-per-views, I would need to have employees, and, I can barely afford to do all this myself. So, yeah, not going to be more shows, unfortunately. How long have you been collecting figures? I pretty much started when Mattel came out, so in 2010. But right now I would not consider myself a collector. I just buy whatever I need for GCW. I don't buy anything else, and if I don't use figures in GCW, I'll get rid of them. How do you set up your arenas and backstage areas? I mean, it's just like a lot of parts, right, that go into it. I mean, explaining that would be pretty hard. Would you consider bringing back the franchise killers? Yeah, definitely. I could see them being back sometime soon. For people who don't know, that's the alliance of Randy Orton and John Cena that we had in GCW for a while. Will LA Knight debut? We had that. And is G-Man going to get a title rematch? We'll have to see if he can beat Nick Gage. Luke, I have a question for you. Seth Rollins defending... Okay, this is another one about Extreme Rules. Can you make more championship history videos? Yeah, I would love to do more. As always, it's like really depends on time that I have to dedicate to like putting these together, and that is time that I usually would spend filming, and then sometimes I don't know which one I should do. If there's anyone that wants to join on the GCW editing team and edit some of these championship history videos, and there's so much stuff we could do, like compilations, documentaries, and stuff like that, hit me up, because it's just, I mean, there's only so much I can do on my own. When more customs going on sale on Patreon? Waiting for an Osprey. Within the next 2 weeks, and there's going to be a bunch of new Ospreys. Do you feel like if Danny hadn't joined GCW's team around 2-3 years ago, you would be anywhere near as successful as you are now in 2023? Now, personally, I don't really see myself as being very successful, because I struggle to get by doing this. So, I mean, it's not a success really to me. I guess if you look at the numbers and stuff like that, I'm probably second most watched Fed out there, which it's I guess you could consider that kind of successful. But so Danny joining has made GCW a lot more fun for me, and a lot more the stuff that we have done with Osprey, G-Man, and stuff like that. That is all like top tier stuff. Like the one of my favorite programs we've ever done is the Seth, JTM, and Bane. Like, from FAW to GCW, all the thought that was put into that. I mean, it's just incredible that, and the match at WrestleMania, I thought, was the best match on the card. With the video package and everything. So, Danny, it depends on what you consider success. Is it numbers? Is it money? Or is it good content? If it's good content, like, definitely, like, Danny coming on was just great, and having him is making GCW so much better. But it makes it better to stuff like Danny and I like, and the masses, they don't really care about good storytelling. Like I said, they want to see figures full of stuff and hardcore and WWE guys, and maybe have some weird creatures thrown in there that fight with them. Like, yeah, I feel like we could probably be at around the same, like even without Danny, like views wise and stuff like that. But GCW quality wise, for me personally, Danny has just been great, and I'm honestly not sure if I still would be as invested in doing GCW if it wasn't for Danny. So he's definitely a huge success for me personally to have him on board, and I think also to the hardcore fans that watch this channel, right? A lot of you guys appreciate Danny, but to overall numbers and money and stuff like that, unfortunately, like quality content doesn't really do much for that. So there you go. Would you be interested in doing a Survivor series with Stage Creator? Yeah, we can't do that because we use a lot of the same guys, like, like Roman Reigns. Like, would he be on both teams? Would Seth Rollins be on both teams? You can't really do that. Are you bringing back the G1 Climax? Uh, you know, I've talked about it in previous videos that it did terribly. If it was just me and I had no worries about making money, definitely. Now, how things look now, it's very unlikely that the G1 Climax comes back, but like, I'll take a sponsored G1 Climax. If anyone wants to sponsor a G1 Climax, I'll do it. I got two questions. One is legit and one is a troll. What is the status of the Intercontinental title? Yeah, I know it's been a while since that has been featured, but there's always so many things going on that need to be taken care of, so many divisions. But the Intercontinental Championship should be coming back this week. And when is Trump going to be GCW World Champion, Danny Extreme Champion, and Theory and MJF Tag Champions? Yeah, that would be something. But I don't know. Like, as Danny said, the Secret Service hasn't taken his call since WrestleMania, so he's kind of concerned about that. Who would you rather have as a champion, John Cena or G-Man? Me personally, like G-Man. If it's for YouTube success, John Cena would obviously be the better choice. Yeah, that's that. Not to sound like a annoying average WWE fanboy, but do you have any plans to expand the roster with more talent in modern day WWE and AEW? I feel like we feature a lot of guys already, and yeah, there's always gonna be some new people coming in, but yeah. Who's your favorite GCW champ of all time? Definitely Will Ospreay. I mean, most definitely at the best run ever. Just because how entertaining it was, right? With, Danny doing the voice and all the entertaining stuff we've done with him. I think might even be my favorite GCW character of all time now, even that the run is over. That promo he just cut yesterday was something else. Hey Luke, another question. Are we getting Will versus WSC? We'll have to see on that. Will you ever pick up on the Logan and Andrew Tate story? Yeah, I want to. The problem is, I always used to get my figures from a specific source who doesn't get them to me anymore right now. So I missed out on the Ultimate Edition Logan Paul, and I don't really want to use that weird custom head. So I'm probably just waiting for the Battle Pack to come out with Roman Reigns and get that head from there. And then we can continue on that. Will there be another I bet you can't film this challenge? That is all Danny's. I have nothing to do with that one. And can you make the G1 again? We have talked about that. Have you ever thought about pushing John Cena? I mean, definitely. Listen, bruv, I need Kenny to come back. Alright, forget G-Man. Yeah, I mean, Kenny is definitely going to be in New Japan. And, yeah, I hope we can capture some of the stuff that's going to happen with him there. Okay, I'll ask you a question. Was there a Royal Rumble that was supposed to have a different winner, but you changed your mind? I mean, I suppose because the original plan was going to be Ospreay and Lesnar at this year's WrestleMania. So I definitely was thinking that Lesnar would have to win. But I was also thinking to find a way out of that, because I think people would have been pissed if Lesnar won another Rumble. So, yeah, I'm glad we didn't have to do that in the end. How come at WrestleMania 11 Brock fought Gunther but not Karrion Kross? I feel like that was explained pretty well on the show. Like, why Lesnar went after Karrion Kross at first, but then didn't have to because he had to do the favor for Vince, who gave him the direct match with Ospreay in the cage. Do you have any plans on breaking up the Bloodline in the future? I feel like the Bloodline can still draw as the Bloodline on YouTube. So, yeah, I'm not really a fan of copying everything exactly like WWE does. So, the Bloodline is more than likely gonna stay together a little bit longer. Was there a point in time where you wanted to quit fedding? Yeah, a lot. Like, it happens a lot because it's very frustrating to see, like, you know, you really putting everything you have into things, and, you know, it's just like barely making enough for you to get by, and then, you know, analytics still going down despite you doing, you know, some of the best work you've done. It's very frustrating, and if you look at YouTube and see like the videos that people watch, I mean, it's just overall very frustrating, and I definitely thought about quitting a lot. But then, you know, when I truly think about quitting, like, okay, then what else am I gonna do with my life? Like, it's like working some regular job gonna be better than doing this, even though this sucks and doesn't make a lot of money at times. You know, it's still like kind of what I dedicated my life to the last years, and I don't know, it just kind of would feel bad to just quit it totally in the end. But yeah, I think about it all the time, actually. Will we ever see you enter a ring? No. I don't think that's gonna happen. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for the Q&A. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you have more questions, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, that wraps it up. And a pretty long video. But yeah, for the hardcore fans, I hope you appreciated me going through your questions. And like I said, if you have more, you missed the community post, feel free to leave them in the comment section of this video. So, see you for more stuff on the road to GCW Extreme Rules here on the channel pretty soon.